Hello everyone, and here we've got another first look video here on the new Civ that's just been announced for the Frontier DLC. It's Ethiopia. We're just going to do how we normally did it on the previous videos. I'm just going to watch the reveal trailer and talk through it as they go. I just want to give a big shout out to all you guys that have been commenting and watching my videos on YouTube. The support has been amazing lately. The comments just really make my day sometimes, so I appreciate all that. Got some good news and some bad news, I suppose, with the guides. The bad news is that I did get a new graphics card. Well, that's not really the bad news, but when I updated my graphics card, I wiped my PC, so I've lost the save for the Guide to the Early Game Part 1. The good news is that the BBG, the mod, the Better Balanced Game mod that we use in our games, got updated recently, and it got updated in a way that every time that the mod does get updated, you can load previous saves, if that makes sense, so from like previous versions of the mod. So I can go through the same save file now, which I couldn't do previously, which was kind of what was making it slow. So yeah, but I'm gonna have to. The bad news is that I'm gonna have to start the guide again, but yeah, I'm looking to do that pretty quickly. So stay tuned. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Okay, so here we go. As always, this is going to be multiplayer focused. I forgot to mention that earlier. So if you're a single player this information is still going to be relevant, but it's not going to be nearly as useful. And if you're a multiplayer player, then yeah, stick around. And don't forget to follow me on Twitch, subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on Twitter, join my Discord. All the links will be in the description below. So yeah, let's rock and roll.
Menelik II leads Ethiopia in Sid Meier's Civilization 6. Best remembered for fighting off European powers, modernizing the nation, and ending slavery, Menelik established Ethiopia as a bastion against colonialism.
I tell you what, guys, my history is absolutely terrible. I couldn't tell you a thing about Ethiopian history, not a single thing. Anyway.
Ethiopia's unique ability is called Oxuomite Legacy. Its cities earn extra faith from resources.
Okay, so we got the first bonus there. We got faith from resources. I'm 90% sure that's going to be in every city, so it's going to stack. How it works is you get one faith for each resource I'm guessing you've improved. I could be wrong on that. It could just be by default. So as you can see in this city, there's stone, rice, mercury horses, and copper improved. So they're getting 5 faith a turn from that. That's going to be really good for monumentality. You can have at least 3 or 4 cities up before the first golden, so you're already looking at 20-ish faith per turn, which is a good sort of floor for when you should be picking monumentality, is around 20 faith a turn. This is just resources in general as well. It's not just luxuries. It's not just strategic. It's every type, and like I said, it's one per.
Boosted even further when international trade routes originate from resource-rich cities. The empire.
That's part of the same bonus as well. It's going to be if you send an international trade route to somebody, you're going to get 0.5 faith per resource that you've improved in the origin city.
Can also purchase archaeological museums and archaeologists with faith.
Okay, this doesn't look too good when you first look at it, but thinking about it, the main issue is when you want to go archaeologist, when you go for a culture victory, is just the production it takes, because it's not like an art museum where you can just use the artist that you've recruited from great people from the theatre squares. If you do build an archaeology museum, you've got to build the archaeologist or buy it as well. So that is going to be handy for Ethiopia. You know, just being able to have that ability to just quickly purchase the museum and the archaeologist itself. The only downside to that is in multiplayer, obviously rock bands are very effective at quickly finishing off a culture victory.
Ethiopia's unique unit is the Oromo Cavalry. This cavalry unit replaces the courser. It has better combat strength and sight than the courser, and receives no movement penalty from moving on hills.
Okay, so there's quite a few bonuses there,
Moving
wasn't
on
there,
hill.
just for one unit. So it's a unique courser, which is quite interesting because you don't really see many courser time pushes, at least not in multiplayer. I think the only civ really that would do that is France, because it's the same tech that they get there, Spy. Also, we've got a unit here, a vampire. No special bonuses, it seems, except for the static defense, which I'm guessing is like this fort thing that it's standing in. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. So the Corsair has, sorry, the Oromo Cavalry has, I believe, +2 over a normal Corsair. Has more sight than a standard Corsair, which is a new mechanic actually, I believe. Anyway, at least in the base game. I know in the mod when we nerfed Columbia, the +1 movement that they gained got changed to +1 sight. So it's new for the game, but it's not new to the multiplayer scene, so to speak. And they also get the no movement penalty from hills. So these are going to be very good at very quick attacks, even if the terrain looks rough. Obviously, you still want to avoid the jungle and hill tiles, but everything else is going to be fine. Good for a backstab, good for a medieval timing push before they get like field cannons and muskets, just while they're getting their niter online, that sort of thing. So yeah, hopefully we're going to see some new timed pushes as opposed to the ones at the moment where we've got like classical and then nothing really because knights aren't too viable anymore. And then obviously after that you've got things like field cannon with musket pushes, and we'll carry on.
Ethiopia's tile improvement, the rock-hewn church, can only be built on hills or volcanic soil. And multiple churches can't be built adjacent to each other. It provides faith and extra faith from adjacent mountains and hills. They can only be pillaged and not destroyed by natural disasters. Once you research flight, rock-hewn churches also produce tourism.
All right, so I think this was potentially going to be the most OP part of the Civ. One faith for each adjacent mountain and hill tile, provides tourism after reaching flight. +1 appeal, can only be pillaged. So on average, I guess you're looking at like +3 to 4 faith per one of these if you're kind of lucky with volcanoes or hills or whatever. This is going to go really well with Earth Goddess and Fire Goddess, the one that gives faith from volcanic soil and geothermal fissures. If this Civ has either a hills bias or a mountains bias, which I'm guessing it's going to because of the thing that it's going to mention in a sec about the settling on hills thing, then you're looking at a super strong monumentality, and I think the church will be the thing that gets nerfed with this Civ, because you're going to have like 10 to 15 faith per one of these churches, and that's without that much luck really. If you get really good luck with eruptions, you're looking at even more, like up to 20 maybe. So yeah, I think that's going to be a very strong, unique improvement just for like monumentality and, well, faith bind in general, really.
His ability is called Council of Ministers. He gets extra culture and science based on his faith output in cities founded on hills. His units also get extra combat strength when fighting on hills. Ethiopia's focus is on a defensive, religious, and culture-centered game. Claim hill tiles early for your cities. The Council of Ministers ability can keep Ethiopia well-rounded, even as you try to maximize the amount of faith you are producing. If you don't win a religious victory, you can still use faith to purchase archaeologists, naturalists, or even rock bands later in the game, keeping a culture victory within reach. Will you resist the powers that come at you from afar? How will you lead Ethiopia in Sid Meier's Civilization 6?
Okay, and that's that.
is called
Oh,
Count.
we've missed this bit. We'll go back to that now. So its bonus is receive science and culture equal to 15% of your faith generation in cities founded on hills. So you must settle on them on hills. In multiplayer, obviously, this is going to be a lot easier because we play on New World Age, which gives you more hills. And settling on Plains Hills, especially, is obviously very strong because of the 2-2. This bonus is going to get out of control if, like I said earlier, like if you get lucky with volcanoes and how you place your churches. It's going to be fine, I think, with the legacy bonus, with the resource and trade routes. You know, it's not going to be completely out of control with that because you're only going to get up to like 20, 15, 20 faith per turn with that. Whereas with these churches, you know, if you've got 4 or 5 of them in a city and they're each on like 15ish faith, add that to the legacy bonus. You know, you could easily go to 80 to 100 faith for a city, which is going to be 15 science and culture, which doesn't sound much, but you know, if you've got 8 or 9, 10 cities, you're well on your way to getting that like on a really out of control level. So I think if the faith generation is toned down a little, especially with the churches, I know I keep saying that, but I think the church is going to be the OP part of this civ. I think it could be a well balanced civ, but if the faith gets nutty, then you know the monumentality is going to be super strong. This is going to be really strong, and the faith bind in general is going to be very strong. Units receive +4 combat strength on hills. That's going to be all units. That's going to a very strong bonus as well. Obviously, civs like France and Persia are top tier because they do get the +3 bonus, and Teddy as well with his +5s. So yeah, that's going to be really good as well for attacking and defending really. Legacy, not much really to talk about. Obviously, that's going to be quite a good bonus. I think the cavalry should be a good unit for a timing push because at that time your enemy's not going to have much to defend with. Maybe building up to muskets, they'll have crossbows, possibly knights. But I'll have to see about that. And then obviously the church is going to be, I think, very strong. So overall, I think this is going to be like a medium to strong balanced civ in terms of balance. I think it's going to be quite fun to play. I look forward to playing it. And yeah, I'm going to end the video there. So cheers for watching, guys. Leave any criticism in the comments. Again, make sure you follow and subscribe. And thanks for watching. And I'll see you in the next one.